Welcome to Vodhalla.
Feeblestar versus Toast, and as you can see, Feeblestar is keeping with his Giro vibes. I mean, again, he is a Giro player. He does play a whole lot of Giro, but on the other side, we have the dreaded Taros. I believe that is a Yeti Taros skin too. So again, I don't know what the Spencer guy is, but I mean, he's gonna. I don't know how he feels. Would Spencer be a Giro player, or would he be a Taros player?
Don't listen to me.
Anyways, I mean, we have seemingly two completely different styles here. Giro with the very fast weapons with the sword and the scythe, then we have Taros coming in with the axe. That's supposed to be a slow-hitting weapon, but it looks like he's maneuvering this thing pretty well. He's whipping him with that axe, and he's doing a lot of damage, and Giro does not have the tankiness to be able to withstand too much more, even on a map like Mammoth Fortress.
Yeah, we're going to see some color changes fly dramatically with such a low defense Giro against a high attack Taros. But still, here Feeble is picking up and being able to stay up. Considering the stat differences between these two, this is still an incredibly close game, and Star is playing this amazing right now and isn't getting hit by that much. It'll just be a few hits to knock out, and that hit to knock out will send Star down to second stock. But still, playing this closely with this stat difference is honest. It's probably worth the prize pool on its own, but still Toast is trying to chase the prize pool a little bit more. It's just all going to come down as to who wants it more. Toast covering the landing space around the weapon spawn with some nairs. And unfortunately, that Sig does not connect, and so Star is able to stay on stage, land a Sayer of their own, and still even game.
Yeah, it's an even game, but again, that's one of the great things about best of five is that the games can definitely switch. I think they're just kind of like filling each other out, kind of seeing how they like to play. And one thing I want to say though is, like, even though it seems like there's a large power difference, I mean, that being said, what you lack in one, you make up for in the other, right? So Giro definitely having sight helps him out a crap ton. Right, getting a lot of potential combos, strings, getting a lot of good damage down. But on the other hand, you have Taros, so you need to be precise in your movements and in your attacks. Otherwise, you're going to end up taking a lot of damage from this hammer. Like you're seeing right now, he's missing a lot of his attempts, and I think he was expecting him to go dodge in, but he did not do so. And he's going to be able to see, lacking in damage, makes up 4 in speed, saving him from a potential kill there. But Toast now wanted to try and maximize his opportunities that he's given. Doesn't go for anything, kind of bides his time, and there's no punish coming up from Feeblestar. And they're kind of just like playing the passive game right now, trying to see what is the best option. And Toast sees an opening, he goes for it, and he gets the kill down. It's now 1 stock for Feeblestar in favor of 2 for Toast.
That almost passive-like kind of gameplay to try to find the best options, I think is the best way to describe this, because it's right now they're a little hesitant to try to commit because they both know that they don't have a perfect download on each other. Right now they're trying to find the download. Sometimes a game just kicks right off of the gate and just explodes the second you light the fuse, but this one the fuse takes a little bit of time to reach the gunpowder, because right now it seems like this whole game is a bit of an introductory dance, so they get to know each other, get to know what reads to look for, and I think Star is finally starting to get those reads. That download bar is starting to look pretty close to complete for that Giro over there. As right now, sticking with Scythe against an unarmed Toast. Toast is still at a little bit of a lead, but with some of the reads that I might start to expect coming from Star, this could still be a very, very close game. And Star's actually done a very good job of weapon starving Toast, as Toast is able to pick up Hammer and still able to cover the screen with nairs. A Stomp Sayer is going to instantly sway the game. Star's just trying to get whatever combo they can. You can see they were probably ready to commit to a full 0 to KO. Toast lets Star get back on stage just for a little bit before they start dancing around each other a little bit more. Toast needs to try to just find the last hit. Star needs to build up a little bit more damage, get, a few good more Scythe combos in, get a few good more, maybe some of the reads that they've been trying to connect, but Toast is just able to stop that short and just has some incredible reaction times, is able to know when and where to place the hits, as right now Star is still maybe trying to even out the game, but unfortunately that wishing Star has to collapse.
No, yeah, that game got ended all right, but it ended with the hammers to the face, and as most games do with terrorists. But yeah, that was a pretty good game. I think that is a pretty solid game right there, coming in from both players. So it was relatively closer than expected. But I think going into this next one, I think that Toast kind of has an idea of how he wants to play the game, and Feeblestar, tried and true on his Giro, he's going to go right back to it, and I think that's respectable. I think being able to kind of do that is something that is respectable. Will it work? We'll see. There's only one way to figure that out. All right, so here we go. We do have, again, like I said, Teteros versus the Giro here. And one of the interesting things about this matchup is just how much the focus is going to be on whether or not Feeblestar gets destroyed by these axe attacks, because they're very, very painful. Toast did win game number 1. And he's going to look to extend that lead into game number 2. As he's looking to get the punishes here, he's finding a lot of connections here, and Feeblestar unable to find a whole lot of things. He goes for the signature here, but he's not going to find anything. And this is one of the things I was talking about, or was trying to talk about earlier, is that if you miss your attacks, you're not going to be able to find a whole lot of success. But fortunately for Feeblestar, he's able to find his way back in as he finds a hammer side air to the face, and Toast wants to try and finish this off, tries to find something, goes for the side light instead of the side air. I believe that might have been a misclick here, but he's going to write that wrong right then and there. That's going to be a second stock, or first stock being lost, and that's first strike going over to Toast, and now he's going to try and go for the aggressive play. I mean, again, this is hammer game. You guys know this. This is hammer. You've seen it once. You've seen it all. Like, this is literally hammer. Anyways, trying to go for these attacks there, and the damage lead is actually pretty substantial for Toast here. He loses his stock there, but he still has a pretty large lead, and with the weapon that he has, it's going to be relatively easy to try and finish that off. They'll go for these damages here. Yeah, I mean, this is just, I mean, a lot of people have a lot of opinions about Scythe and Hammer in the game. I've seen a lot of people say, a lot of interesting things about these weapons, and I think it's interesting. I'm glad we got to get to see them together, as he's going to put a side air to the back of Giro here, and now it's going to be a very close game. Feeblestar doing a good job of minimizing that lead that Toast had down to just a little bit of damage here. Tries to go in for that signature, is not going to quite connect. It may have been a little bit too aggressive, as he doesn't have that. The dodge read goes in. He's going to find the damage there, and he's taking a lot of punishment. And, that's against Axe. That's a problem.
And a problem indeed that they're having a bit of a hard time dealing with, as that damage lead is looking very scary, building up on Star right now. Toast, we can see some of that bloodlust, some of that longing for that KO starting to come out, and it ends up being able to connect. Star is gonna have to adjust and account for a lot of things if they really want to try to bring this through and make this work, and it ends up being the Moonin, as maybe the sword wasn't quite doing it. We need a bow to switch out for that and stay on the Scythe. And I might agree with that option, because that Scythe was actually looking pretty nice some moments of these games so far. But if this is the last bet, the last life that Star has right now to keep going, then it really has to come through.
Yeah, and I think the Munin is a good switch here. I mean, he's gonna have to find some sort of option to this close range attacks, and I think bow is a pretty nice way of doing that, kind of being able to keep your distance. But again, you kind of have to develop that spacing, and if you're able to do that, I think you're working pretty well. It's not an insta win, but it's going to definitely, I think, make Feeblestar's life a little bit easier without having to deal with walking directly up into their face when it comes to the sword. And as you can see here, the damage is pretty even right now, so he seems to be much more comfortable on the Moon, at least in this matchup. Again, he is a Giro player, but it's good to have multiple characters in your playhouse, or in your wheelhouse, to be able to switch whenever things get tough. And I think that's something that Feeblestar is doing a good job of showing here.
And also with some much better SIGs and much higher defense. Unfortunately, Star gets psyched out. I don't know if that was lag or if they get psyched out and just didn't know how to react to something that Toast was doing on screen in front of them. but unfortunately Toast has to quickly take a lead out from under Star right now. As there we go, Star making some very good use, or at least an attempt at the use of those SIGs. They come out a lot faster and hit a bit harder than some of Jiro's SIGs, so it's definitely a pretty nice palette swap over from the Jiro, and that Scythe that stayed consistent from the Jiro from earlier is also coming through, and that is definitely proving why Star still has a spot in this race, but Toast still is able to adjust quite quickly. The first little bit of that first stock had Star's name written all over it, but right now, as the game is maybe not super close, that's exactly what Toast wants. Toast does not want this to be an even game. You want any lead you can, and Toast is securing themselves a pretty tasty looking lead right there.
Yeah, I don't want the game to be even. I want to take every advantage I can to win. And right now, it seems like the lead is pretty huge in favor of Toast. I mean, playing this the Hammer really well. I mean, the neutral game is a bit weird for Hammer, but it definitely is rewarding if you're able to play it very well. With a lot of options to boot in terms of how you want to finish off your opponent. There goes the Stomp Stare with more damage coming in, and all Toast really has to do is just kind of, he doesn't really have to play aggressive if he doesn't want to. And again, this is kind of the benefit of kind of making your own lead. It's kind of on Feeblestar to really try to do something here, because Toast has already built up that lead. He's so close to killing him, he really doesn't have to try anything. He just has to not basically let this get out of control. And as you can see there, the Nair coming in, he's basically just inputting like minimal effort for maximum profit. Ooh. And there you go, that's going to be the side air coming in, and that's going to be the kill coming in. Yeah, I have nothing else to say there. I mean, when you get a lead like that, you don't have to aggress, you don't have to push your lead, and that is going to be a 3-0 in favor of Toast.